They're a good team. You had extra time to prepare, kind of offset the fact you had to go to the East Coast.
5-1 for the first time since 2018. Giants 1-5 for the fourth time in the last 5 seasons. Cooper Kupp, 7 touchdowns this season. That leads the NFL. And Matthew Stafford, I mean, we didn't really say much about him, but 22 of 28, 251, 4 touchdowns and an interception. Daniel Jones finishes the day, 4 turnovers, a career high for him. As you take a look at his numbers. But I mean, Pete, I mean, how much blame does Jones get here? Because, I mean, this is really a hobbled team he's dealing with.
Well, it's a hobbled team. He didn't have his weapons, or at least didn't have Galladay. He didn't have, you know, Tony went out early in the game.
No Barkley.
No Barkley. And he's playing on a week where he had a concussion. And nowadays, it's somehow, some way, it seems you can come back from concussion a lot sooner than you used to be able to. So it's hard to blame him, but he's got to take care of the football. It's been a problem for him for a long time. He's got to hold on to the football at times as well.
And you just wonder, maybe they should have gone with Mike Glennon for this game. I don't know if the result would have been any different.
It wouldn't have been.
Certainly in terms of that.
No chance.
By the way, the Rams cover the spread. Pete told you to take the Rams earlier this week on HQ, but the over-under 49, so it goes to a push. Pete, I have to ask you about Matthew Stafford with the Rams. They're at 5-1, and I mean, last week didn't have multi-touchdown game. Today he throws for 4. You know, it just looks like this is such a great fit with Stafford and Sean McVay. In terms of what you're seeing from this team, how impressed are you with what you've seen from Stafford and the Rams?
Oh, I mean, that offense, when it gets going, it's hard to stop. It's schemed well. He throws the ball well. You look back on their loss and you say, what the heck happened against the Cardinals? I mean, you look at the way that thing played out. They were at home and Cardinals went in there and beat them up, and they just didn't barely beat them. They dominated them. So sometimes you have one of those games, you just cast it aside, and they're going to be in the mix for the Super Bowl. They're a good football team.
When they come off this weekend, depending on what happens for the Cardinals and obviously some other things, Tom Brady had a big game. Where's Stafford in the MVP race for you?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the conversation. You know, Justin Herbert took a step back in that conversation, but he's in the mix. There's no doubt about it. We'll see what Dak Prescott does today. He's in the mix, but I think when you look at it on the surface, definitely in the conversation.
Jeremy, we talk all the time about who's the quarterback that comes out of nowhere, you know, late round pick. You know, we kind of had Stafford pegged as the #1 guy, but he wasn't a top 5 guy, not a top 8 guy. It's kind of been him and Jalen Hurts as the 2 guys that fall into that category. And you see more performances like this. And look at what Cooper Kupp has done, #1 receiver in fantasy, the only wide receiver so far in every game this season with 10 or more targets. And so he's leaning on him quite a bit. Bobby, I was going to say Bobby Treese. Robert Woods didn't have a huge game, but found the end zone again. And then Darrell Henderson. You know, they have all the makings of a superstar offense, and Matthew Stafford's making it go.
I don't mind if you use nicknames, Jamie.
Yeah, I know, but
using nicknames on here.
I don't love Bobby Treese.
And when you look at the Rams, next to schedule, by the way, Detroit at Houston taking on Tennessee before a divisional game against San Francisco. So I mean, you're looking at that Rams schedule, and they're setting up pretty nicely as well.
But they're going to be division heavy at the back end of it, and that's a pretty good division too.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, by then, Seattle will have Russell Wilson back when they play him. So
they still have that same defense, though.
That's true. Yeah, the defense has regressed just a little bit this season, but hopefully, you know, as the season moves along, they'll get a little bit better. We talk about some of the fantasy pickups for this coming week. Well, all the guys on FFT are going to be all over it. Jamie and the crew, they'll be talking about who you should grab, who you should stay away from. I always love the trade talk because you're at that point of the season now where if you're in desperate situations like I am and you're below 500, you've only got 1 or 2 wins, you're looking to move guys out. Great fantasy advice. So be sure to download and follow wherever you get your preferred audio. You can also watch the show on YouTube.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.